I want to make a rock. Hear me out. One that looks awesome and glows in the dark. Something I can put in a small display case and tell people that it fell from space. Why do you want to do that? Because I think it would be awesome to have on a shelf, and I want to fill my house with interesting items. So I went out to the middle of nowhere in search of the perfect space rock. And after looking through countless beautiful rocks and fighting off a chupacabra, I finally found it. The perfect space rock. Is this not the coolest rock you've ever seen? Now I don't want to ruin this rock, and so I'm going to make a mold of it. Using a hot glue gun, I'm going to attach a makeshift hanger onto it. I'll be using this cup as a form, and so the hanger will help to hold the rock over the cup. I even cut some notches at the top of the cup for the hanger to drop into. But before that, we're going to need to mix our silicone. Luckily, we're using yet another red cup to mix it, so figuring out the right amount should be easy. And now I like to fill up the cup halfway, push our rock into it, and then finish filling it up. I find this way helps minimize air bubbles. And with that, we now just wait for the mold to harden. Once it's hardened, we can peel away the cup and use a sharp blade to make one clean incision into the mold, freeing our rock. With the rock free, we can thank it for its service and release it back into the wild to reunite with its family. And we are left with a perfect mold of the rock. So I'm going to place the mold back into yet another cup to help keep its shape. Mix up some concrete. Don't mind if I do. And pour it into our brand new mold. After pouring, it's very important to shake and tilt the mold to help ensure the concrete spreads everywhere and that all the bubbles release. And after around an hour, we can demold it, being sure to be super gentle as the concrete is still fresh. You can see it's a little rough at the fill point, but that's okay. We can smooth it out using a sanding disc on our angle grinder. And now it's time for the fun part, making this thing look awesome. I'm going to start off painting it dark gray, being sure to wipe it down with a dry paper towel frequently to remove excess paint and try and make it look a little bit more worn and weathered. Now here I have some glow-in-the-dark paints. I'm going to take the green and paint the indents of the rock to try and do some texturing. I know it looks like I'm putting it on way too heavy, but these paints have a tendency to really mellow out when they dry. Although we do still want to be careful not to overdo it, or else it may start looking a little cartoony and fake. Subtlety is the key. I'm now going to come in with the purple and try and accent the green with it. I think when it dries, it could really help tie it all together. Now I have this other glow-in-the-dark paint, but this one dries clear, and so I'm just going to cover the whole rock with a heavy coat of it. However, be warned, it does take several hours for this paint to fully cure and turn clear. So if you see some white spots in the next few shots, just know it's still drying. And lastly for the rock, I'm going to drill a small hole into the bottom of it that a pin can fit in. Now we want to proudly show off this space rock, and so I went to Hobby Lobby and bought this cool little display case. I'm going to drill a hole in the base of it just like we did for the rock, and cut a small pin out of the steel rod to glue into it. Then we just slide on the rock and cover it with the dome. And with that, my friends, the space rock is done. My camera had a hard time filming this, it really doesn't do it justice. But I did manage to take some photos of it that are pretty close to what it looks like in person. It is honestly a lot of fun to look at. In the dark, it glows a lot brighter than I was expecting. But even in the light, it has a certain character and mystique to it.
by far my favorite space rock that I own.
But hey, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy this video, and if you did, feel free to hit the thumbs up and subscribe. But if you didn't, I hope your space rock is stolen by the British Museum!
Thanks for watching, and please feel free to subscribe.